This year, my husband and I achieved our dream of moving to Spain and successfully obtaining our digital nomad visas. However, when we were researching about it last year, it was an absolute disaster. It was completely confusing and everybody on the internet was just saying different things. It took us half a year just to figure the things out and find answers to our questions through countless websites, forums, and videos. So based on our own experience and collected information, I decided to make a video that would help clear all the doubts you might have around the digital nomad visa. So in this video, I'll cover the next topics. First, we'll discuss who this visa is best for and what it is about. Then, what are the benefits of applying for digital nomad visa? After that, I'll cover what are the requirements for this visa and will give you a checklist of documents that are needed for application. And lastly, I'll share with you our personal experience and tips about this visa. Okay, so first of all, who is this visa for? The digital nomad visa is available for remote workers and self-employed individuals from non-EU countries. Meaning, if you are a non-EU citizen who wants to work remotely for companies or clients outside of Spain, this visa could be a ticket for you to living and working in Spain. But here I want to be upfront with you. Although remote workers who have official employers in some occasions do get this visa successfully, still the majority of people who apply for this visa as remote workers get rejected. The DNV is primarily designed for self-employed individuals or freelancers working with clients outside of Spain, not traditional employees of foreign companies. The issue is mainly around social security certificate and taxes, but I'm not covering that today in this video as I'm not even well informed about that. I'll be focusing on self-employed workers only in this video. So if you are a self-employed or a freelancer, this visa has some advantages for you. If Spain is your dream country to live in, the good news is that all the years you live here on this visa are counted towards the residency and later the citizenship. If you apply for this visa outside of Spain, in your home country, you'll get it for 1 year. But if you apply in Spain, considering that your job contract has no end date, you'll get it for 3 years. And I'll tell you what, this is a pretty good deal. After 3 years, you can renew it again for the next 2 years if you fulfill all the requirements. And after that, you can apply for permanent residency. So to conclude, if you want Spain to become your new home, then apply while being in Spain for this visa. And after getting it, apply for a residency card called TIE, so all these years will start counting towards your permanent residency. If you're a nomad and you're just traveling around and you're okay with getting this visa for only 1 year, then apply outside of Spain. But honestly, I would just recommend to applying in Spain and get it for 3 years. As it is required to contribute to social security system, you'll get free access to education and medical services. Bye-bye stupid co-payments. This visa is granted very fast. If after 20 business days you don't get any decision from the foreigner department, you can apply for what's called the positive administrative silence, which means your visa gets automatically approved if you don't hear back from them after that time. But here comes to the big but. If you are planning on moving to pay less taxes or to have some tax exemptions, maybe you've heard about the Beckham's law, then don't do it. Choose another country. You will be paying taxes as Spanish people do with the progressive tax rates from 19 to 47%. And this is on top of paying for Autónoma, which is self-employed contribution to the social security system. First year it will be a monthly payment of 80 euros, but after that it will get proportional to your income and can get up to 300 euros. Spain has tax treaties with several countries, including the US, to avoid double taxation, but you'll still have to file your annual declarations plus file and pay quarterly taxes in Spain. I know it's a lot, and believe me, taxes is not an easy thing, so it's always better to discuss that with lawyers or tax accountants. And don't freak out about the taxes too much. They might seem higher than in the US, but when you factor in the reduced cost of living, it kinda balances out. For example, the cost of living in Valencia is 40% cheaper than in Raleigh, where we used to live, and we spend less and have a higher quality of life here. And now let's take a look on the requirements for the applicants. First of all, you need to demonstrate that you are a self-employed freelancer working remotely with clients or companies. You need to show that there is a continuous employment relationship of at least 3 months in the company or with the client. Make sure that your contract states very clearly that you're a freelancer or a contractor and also mentions the position, your responsibilities, and earnings. The contract should be at least made for a year with the possibility of extension. But ideally, you want to have it with an open date so that the visa will be granted for you for 3 years. Your earnings mentioned in the contract should be at least 200% of the Spanish national minimum wage. In 2024, the Spanish minimum wage in 12 payments is 1,323 euros. Therefore, you must prove that you have at least 2,646 euros per month. In the case of applying with family members, for the first family member it's at least plus 993 euros, and for each additional applicant at least 331 euros. You need to show 3 months of bank statements matching with the last 3 months of invoices or payslips. The company or a client must also confirm in writing that they allow you to work remotely and that they are not against you working for them abroad. This company or companies must have been operating in the market for at least 1 year. You'll need to download a certificate of existence from the state website and then apostille it. What does it mean to get it apostilled? Well, it certifies the authenticity of the signature or seal and enables a public document issued in one country to be recognized as valid in another country. You'll need to get some of your documents apostilled. I will share with you all the necessary links that helped us in the process in the description of this video down below. As I mentioned before, there is some difficulty for remote employees to get a social security certificate from their work. It takes approximately 6 months to get it, and then Spanish don't always recognize it. So basically, as a self-employed, you need to sign a letter, so-called reta, where you promise to register yourself as an autónomo, self-employed in Spain, and contribute to social security system. Keep in mind that for a few months you won't have access to Spanish public healthcare, as you will be in the process of sorting out your paperwork. You might also think about getting a private insurance so that you're covered before you get access to a free public one. Then you'll need to either show a copy of a university degree or proof of work history, confirming that you have at least 3 years of experience in your business activity. We showed letters from previous clients that confirmed the duration of the project and job responsibilities. It is also important for the application to attach a resume translated into Spanish. Submit your criminal record certificate with a minimum validity of 90 days. Get this record as the first thing when you will start gathering your documents, because it might take you up to 2 months to get it apostilled. Include a declaration of no criminal record for the last 5 years. If you apply with your spouse, you'll need to show a copy of your marriage certificate, and if you have kids, their birth certificates. You have to provide a copy of your passport, make sure it is still valid for a while, and address in Spain. It can be from family, friends, or some kind of temporary apartment, like you can find it on Airbnb or HomeSpace. When flying to Spain, make sure you're booking a direct flight and not a connecting flight to another EU country, because you'll need to show an entry stamp in your passport that shows when you entered Spain. I've heard that starting this November, they want to switch to biometric passport scanning and get rid of the stamps in the passport. But in any case, at the airport, once you arrive, you can always get a stamp at the police department, Comisaría de Policía. Make sure you don't leave the airport without getting this stamp. You'll need it for your application. Fill out the Visa MIT form and pay the fee. If you're still with me, you're a hero, and I would give you that visa already. I wish that was it, but I need to mention that without a digital certificate, which is an electronic ID, you cannot submit the application. But in order to get it, you'll need NIE. And here you have two options. You can apply for NIE in the consulate, or you can hire a Spanish representative or a lawyer to apply on your behalf. I know it sounds overwhelming. Believe me, it was the same for us. That's why I highly recommend going through the visa process with professional lawyers from the start. We chose an immigration agency called bureaucracy.es, and we are so happy with our decision. We had consultations with other agencies, and nobody got our trust and answered all our questions so professionally as Marina from bureaucracy.es did. It saved us so much time and energy as they provided all the necessary templates, translated all the documents, and submitted the application on our behalf. They have a great dashboard that leads you through each step of getting the visa and a residence permit. All the documents are sent securely, and you get unlimited support from them during your journey. Apart from Digital Nomad Visa, they also help getting non-lucrative visa and golden visa. So if you're looking for a professional immigration lawyer to help you with the process, jump on a free consultation call with Marina. You can use my link in the description to get a 10% discount if you decide to go with their services. Getting any kind of immigration visa may sound difficult at the start. That's why start gathering all the necessary documents at least 4 months before your move-in date. Apostles take the most time, 1-2 months on average. That's why remember to start with that immediately. Also, I wanted to add that in your visa resolutions, you'll get NIE both for you and your family members. And this visa grants ability for spouses to work legally in Spain. The main applicant also can, however, their earnings coming from Spain cannot represent more than 20% of the total income. I'm not a professional lawyer, this is just our experience of getting Digital Nomad Visa and all the information I know about it. In any case, I do highly recommend to go with a professional lawyer from the very start. If you found this video helpful, leave thumbs up and subscribe for more content about Spain. And I see you next week. Hasta pronto!